Are careers canceled? I'm going to say yes. Now, canceled is like it's become the new thing that you are a jerk. You are a subhuman, right? So we're going to play off of that a little bit, right? And I think careers have been canceled. I think as we see younger generations, millennials, certainly, Gen Z, certainly, my generation, which is above those two generations, the Xers, I think it began with us. And here's the thought. I think the word career initially applied to work was a way of describing, well, I am a welder. I am an accountant. I am an engineer. I am fill in the blank. Okay? So what career are you going to choose? And as I talk to young people, and by the way, we have a great curriculum out now, Foundations in Career Discovery, that word is still being used. And I'm not here to replace the word, but what I do want you to understand is that the way we ought to use that word and the way we ought to think about that word is less that it is attached to a certain industry or a certain specific job, and it really should be just used as it's a description for a body of work. It should just be, I look at where I am so far. This is my history, my work history. This is what I want my work future to look like. And so we stop locking ourselves into, right, this idea of I'm choosing this one lane and only this one lane. So if I were going to replace the word career, I would replace it with the word contribution. So instead of saying, what do you want your career to be? I would say, what do you want your contribution to be? And here's why I think that's important and why I'm walking us through this mental exercise is because I do want to shake the way you see yourself as a professional. If the question becomes, what do I want my contribution to be? And we're talking about a professional context here. What do I want my contribution to be? It opens up the mind. So many people take my Get Clear assessment. Okay? And they get their detailed report. Tells them what they're really good at doing, focusing on their talents and strengths. Tells them what kind of work they look forward to and get involved in to where they lose track of time, passion. And then it tells them what gets them out of bed in the morning, what excites them about their work. It motivates them naturally. That's mission. So they get this report and all of a sudden they go, okay, can I get my purpose statement? And now I go, okay, what career do I choose? Because that's how you've been wired. The word career has been tied to an industry, a one track. But if we begin to look at something like a purpose statement that you get from the Get Clear assessment, and we begin to say, wait a second, what do I want my contribution to be? I want to do this type of work to deliver this kind of result to help these people solve this problem with this solution. That should be the mindset about how you view your work. Because now all of a sudden it's very personal, which means it's very specific, which then means it's easier to identify. This is the mindset. That's why we ought to cancel the way we talk about careers. We ought to just say, you know what? What contribution do you want to make? Now, if you start thinking about that, you start with the end in mind. Well, I would like to help these people, solve this problem, meet this desire, providing these type of solutions. I want to make this kind of money. I want to be able to save this kind of money. I want to be able to live here. This is how I want to work. We've got to start looking way out and teaching young people how to do this instead of looking at the immediate. Because when you look at the base of a mountain, you never have perspective of what it's going to take to get to the top of the mountain. If all you're doing is looking at down here, you have really no idea which direction you want to go. But that's what we're essentially doing. We're telling young people, hey, you can be successful if you just stare at the bottom of the mountain and find a way just to get somewhere on the bottom of the mountain, and the rest of it, well, it'll take care of itself, and somehow you'll find your way to the top of the mountain. That's what the entire educational system is about. Getting you a certification that you can say, I am now a decent human being who can do good work. Please give me a job now. Think about that exchange. 12 years of education. Then we're going to tack 4 more onto it, maybe 2 more or 4 more on top of that. So the possibility is you could be looking at 20 years of education, all for the opportunity to go, here's my little piece of paper, my resume. Can I get paid to do something for you? That's what a job is. A contribution is so much bigger than that. Hey, how are you wired? What are you really good at doing? What do you enjoy doing? What motivates you? What from your environment and experience make you the way you are? What's unique about you? What mark do you want to make? What do you want your life to look like in 30 to 40 years? All of those questions I just laid out lead to the idea of a contribution. So instead of looking at the word, well, I got to choose a career. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty good with tools. So, yeah, I think I'll go smack nails with a hammer. Or, hey, I'm really good with math. I guess I should go get a job attached to math. Okay, but we've just taken out the heart piece. All we're looking is talent only. We've taken out, what do you want your life to look like? The Declaration of Independence is a political document, yes. But the first sentence, the first couple of sentences sum up the human desire that we all have, and it is to be free, to live the life we want. Thomas Jefferson penned it this way, that the order was life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Meaning that life is valuable, right? Liberty is how we live the life, and the pursuit of happiness is how we live it. Right? So we've got to understand that you've been thinking in a controlled, systemic way about your work. Stop thinking about your career. Think about the contribution you want to make. It'll set you free.